Okay, so I'm gonna start with the next batch. So this project is Kindred Friends. It was a start for keepsake it was a start at StitchCon, and it is designed exclusively for keepsakes. I need to get this pattern back here on the back. Isn't that pretty? It's called Maker. I need to get that. I am stitching this on a 32 count cookie dough. It was actually by Needle Bling Designs. This was actually, I purchased the kit at StitchCon. And so here is where it is now. I got the whole outside border done, and now I just need to do the inside. So that's where it is now. The outside border was done for StitchCon. So I don't know if she's going to sell it like this, the way that I've stitched it, or if when she gets to put it on, when she gets to sell it at market, if she'll just leave it like this. So I don't know. But this is what it looks like. And I am going to put, since it was for 2025, I am going to put the 2025 on there. You are not going outside. You have been outside. It is cold. It came with the floss and everything. So I bought the whole kit at StitchCon in this year. The next chart is by Talum Emblem, and it is Adonis Blue. And I am stitching this on a light blue Jobelin. It is probably a 28 count. And there is where I am with it now. I will probably have to pause this because my son just pulled up. So the next project I have is the We Won Christmas Bird by Heart and Hand. And this is being stitched on fabric from my stash. It's probably a 28 count because this is really big. But there's where it is now. I just started this in 2025. You're not going outside, dude. This next chart is called Quiet Strength. It is by Kesslins. I started this with my friend Miss Gwen. I am stitching mine on a 46 count Fiber on a Whim Heather. This chart uses all DMC. And it's called for to be stitched on a 40 count. So, but I'm using 46 count, and that is the top of it. Right there. That is this portion right there. Right there. So I have a long way to go. This next chart is a dimensions kit, and it is called Butterfly Dreams. And I am stitching this on a 28 count Blue Moon by Color and Cotton. And here is where it is. This is the top left. This is the top left corner. The next project I have is Daisy, and it is also, it is by It's So Emma in conjunction with the Fat Quarter Shop. I am stitching this on a 32 count Be Stitch Me Whimsical, and I'm using the called for floss. It came as a kit, and here is where it is now. You're not going outside. This next project is by Meridian Designs, and it is the Teeny Weeny Bikini January. This was I thought it was a birthday start for me, but it actually was not. I started it, well, I take that back. It was a birthday start for me. I restarted it a week after my birthday. So I started it on one fabric, I remember. I started it on one fabric and then found a different fabric and restarted it the next week. And here is where I am now on it. So I still have I'm still working on the bikini bra or the bikini top. And I probably should have just used a plainer fabric for this. I know that now. I'm not restarting it. It'll be what it is because I'm not restarting this. Because it has so many beads and all of that, and stitching on it is a lot. Because there's so many beads and holes and all of that stuff. Okay, I'm going to let him out because if I don't, then it'll be a whole thing. So, hold on. Okay. So, I've got him taken care of. He's, gone to the bathroom. He's laying down. He's got his blanket on. Let's hope and pray that he, stays that way. This next project is Doodles Thanksgiving. And this was a start this year. And I'm stitching this on a 32 count fabric from my stash. And here is where it is now. Fairy Garden and sorry, I need to keep track of what I've already pulled out so I don't have to go through all these bags all over again. I think going forward, I'm going to try to put them all in alphabetical order and figure out some kind of way to keep them in alphabetical order so that I, can find them more easily. My next project is Cozy Christmas Cottage by Modern Folk Embroidery. And this is being stitched on a 28 count Zweigart. And I'm using the Belle Soie Tulip silk for it. This might be a finish in 2026. I have another tree to put over here and then the word Christmas. But it also has this border down at the bottom. So maybe. I'm not putting it over in the pile though. Maybe it could be a 2027, depending on how much I stitch on it in 26. This next project is Doodles Christmas that I just started. And that is by Heart and Hand. And I am stitching this on a 32 count fawn pail by Color and Cotton. And there is where I got to on that. I'm like trying to keep them, you know, from sliding down and all of that and messing up my coffee. My next project is Teresa Kogut Sunshine and Blooms. And I purchased this as a kit. It is on a 36 count Grandma Slip by XJU Designs. And here, yeah, here's where I am on that. This next project is from the Cricut collection. It is Be Ye Thankful. I am stitching this on a 40 count. Smoky Quartz by Fiber on a Whim. And there's where I got to. This next project is called Surf and Sand Needle Set. It is by Kim Beamish. It was in the Just Cross Stitch magazine, August of 2020. And here is where it is now. That's what happens when you don't mark your stuff. You got to figure out which way it goes. This is on a 28 count piece of fabric from my stash, and I'm using the Call for DMC. This is Spring Fling by Blackbird Designs. And I am stitching this on a on a 16 count Water Lily Ada. I don't know why I'm stitching it on a 16 count Water Lily Ada, but I am. And there's where I am now. I am using the called for colors on this. You know what? I know why. Because when I wanted to start that, I was in North Carolina. And that's what I had available. The next project that I have is the letters from Nora. And it is the letter K Fairy. And I'm stitching this on a 28 count Lugana. And it's just gray. And here is where I am with that. I think I need to put this one out. Yeah, I do. This project should have been finished. I don't know what. In my mind. Okay. Sorry. That was a little Temptations throwback right there. In my mind, I thought it was finished. It is Mary Mary by Country Cottage Needleworks. And I am stitching this on a 32 count Silvery Moon Lugana. And when I show y'all this, y'all gonna be like, what in the world? Like, this could have been a finish this year. It will not be a finish this year. But like, let me put it on my board so I can show you what all still needs to be finished on it. Y'all gonna be like, what in the world, Candy? And in my head, it was done. I promise you. But I need to fill in all these little white stitches in between these red stitches, and it'll be a finish. I cannot even believe. Let me just say. Maybe I need some snowflakes or something else on it too. Let me see. Maybe I need some snowflakes because, like, there is no reason why. I do. Okay, so it still needs some snowflakes right here and some snowflakes over here and down here. Okay, so it's not just those little white stitches right there. But this will be a finish in 2026. Like, I can't believe it. I don't even know. Oh, I started it in 2021. So that goes to show you, like, I just didn't pay attention. I just didn't pay attention. And it didn't come up, you know, it just didn't come up in the rotation, because in my head it was finished already. So it will be in 2026. It'll be a finish. This next chart is Portrait in Red, and it is by Green Apple Co. Green Apple Company, and it is a Janine Bowers. And I believe I'm also stitching this with my friend, Miss Gwen. It is being stitched on a 20 count Cream Puff. Yep, I started this in February this year. And here's where I am on that. So that is the first 200 stitches that I put in, because I need, all of my projects have 200 stitches added. So that's where it is with the 200 stitches. And I will be putting some work in on this. All of my projects, I'm going to be touching all of my pieces this year. I pulled everything out of timeout, hibernation, and everything will get stitches added to it this year. And again, I plan on putting up a plans video, so it'll all be in my plans video on how I'm going to accomplish that goal. This project is my actually my leap year. It was my leap year start, and it is a Stitcher's Wish by Stitchy Pros. And I'm stitching this on a 36 count weathered stone. And I'm using the call for fibers on it. And here is where I am now. So I believe I have until 2028. Yeah. I have until 2028 to get this finished, so I'll be working on it so that it'll get finished by leap day 2028. I got 2 years. I can do it. I can do it. I actually need to like put this on my calendar, like, and that's what I did last year. I don't know. Yeah, last year and this year. And then once I got back to Columbus, like I fell off because I was stitching it on the 29th of every month. So I probably should do that again. Like, let me just put this over here. I got a whole pile of, oh, this and this and this and this and this going over there. Okay, this project is Be Thankful by Country Cottage Needleworks. This was a start this year. And I am stitching this on a 18 count maybe. I don't know. Yes, it is an 18 count one of a kind by Roxy Floss Co. And that is where I am right now on it. This next project is Kaleidoscope. And I am stitching, this is by Lori Holtz, and I'm stitching this on an 18 count white Aida using the called for DMC colors. This is going to be on my year of whips for 2026, because it was on my year of whips for 2025, but I lost track of it and didn't keep up with it. And I only had, so this is a mirror image. It just does the same thing at the bottom. So I just need to put the bottom part on now. The next chart is Winter Garden by Hello from Liz Matthews. And I am stitching this on a 28 count Winter Creek by Rogue Stitching. And I'm stitching, it's 28 count, and I'm stitching it over 1. And there is where I am on it. Again, 28/1 is not my jam, but I'm going to persevere and get this finished. It'll be cute in a little picture frame for winter time, so I need to persevere and pull it out. The next chart is Holiday Quaker by Lila Studios. So here is where I am with that.
I'm sorry?
No, I'm recording. It is Keep Jack. Oh, it is being stitched on a 40 count Seraphim Jack Frost. With the called, well, it has, I'm doing a conversion, but I don't have the conversion listed. Oh, because they use Gentle Arts. So I'm transferring it from Gentle Arts to either Classic Color Works or Weeks Dye Works. But I'm going to be doing that as I go along. Actually, hold that to the side. Probably. Okay. Okay. My next chart is, it is Tulip by Rosewood Manor. And I am stitching this on a 28 count Queen Anne's lace. And there is where I am now. Lots of color changes in this. Well, you know, like there's red, there's pink, 2 different greens, you know, all of that. So 2 different blues. And initially I was going to put the border in. I do not believe that I'm going to do that now. Like there's a border that goes all the way around and all of this. So I am not stitching this. And I don't know that I'm stitching the border anymore. I'm going to do all the inside and make a decision. After that, I may put this part in just to give it a grounding, but not the alphabet, none of that. And this is another one that if I had a card on it, I don't know where it is. And so I need to look and see when it was actually started. This was a freebie. And it was by From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. And that's what it looked like. And I started it on a gifted fabric flare. I was at Stitch Away. I'll never forget this. And I saw this fabric. One of my friends was stitching on it, and she cut a piece of it off and gave it to me. And so that is where I am on this. I started this in February the 4th in 2023. So it's on a 14 count fabric flare cotton candy, and I'm using Cottage Garden threads, Hugs and Kisses for it. I think that is fabulous. So that is Love Mini Quaker, and it is a free chart from, I'll just do this right here. There you go. You can see the website and everything. And I remember there was something going on that year, and that's why she put out because she put out a free chart. Then I have another one that I'm going to stitch on this same fabric by Cherry Hill Stitchery. She put out a Happy Valentine's Day chart also. And I'm going to start that in 2026 on this same cotton candy fabric. So that'll get some work on it this year. 23. Okay, the next chart I have is from Cherry Hill Stitchery, and it is an Autumn Wish. And it is being stitched on a 32 count flax. And here is where I am now with it. I am using the called for fibers on this. So my next chart is ink circles, arranging leaves. And I am stitching this on a, must be a 28 count Jobelin. Yeah, here it is. Yes, a 28 count beige Jobelin. And here is where it is right now. So this next project you have not seen for at least 2 years, maybe longer. And I have a good reason why. There's an error in it. It is Winter Snowfall by Shannon Christine Designs. I love this. It was a gift to me. And it was kitted up. And instead of using the teal and turquoise, it was kitted up with purple. And I changed the floss. So it is being stitched on 18 counts. And wouldn't you know, I don't have the... I don't know what this fabric is. It doesn't, I don't have the thing on it anymore. It's an 18 count. That part I do know. It's 18 count. I don't know. It might be diversity, because I love diversity. So if that's the case, then that's what it is. Because I changed the fabric because this is my, this was a second restart because the first fabric had all this, it had a whole bunch of glitter in it, and I couldn't stitch on it. So then I changed it over to this, and I'm using Flosh for the white stitches. And now I'm going to back it out and find my error and start on it again. But this is Winter Snowfall. And I started this project in 2022. I'm sorry. So yes, it is an 18 count. It's an 18 count fabric. My next project is the 2025 Collector's Heart by Heart and Hand. And I'm stitching this on a 32 count mushroom. And I'm using the called for floss. Sorry, lost my whole train of thought there. And here is where I am right now on that. I started this, and I'll be working on it again for May. I started it in May for Mental Health May. And it says, love who you are. And that has been something that I've had to learn to do. I'm still learning it. My next project is Christmas Carols by Country Cottage Needleworks. And this is being stitched on a 28 count Lugana succulent. And there's where it is. The next project is Heartstring Samplery Springtime Pin Drum. It's real glary. And this is being stitched on a 28 count Jobelin Wood Violet. And here's where it is. So that's probably just one day's worth of work. Like, I started it and haven't picked it up since. My next project is Thankful Quaker by Bent Creek. And this is being stitched on a 28 count Mummy by Bestitch Me. And there's where I am on that. Okay, the next project I have is Love is Love by Jan Hicks Creates. And I'm stitching this on a 40 count 10 Smith by Color and Cotton. And here's where I am on that. This is It's Snow Time by Cottage Garden Samplings. And I got no notes on it or anything. I don't know when oh, here it is. This is One of a Kind by Roxy Floss Co. 20 count Ada, and I'm using the called for DMC. I'm also doing a specialty stitch for the snowman. It's called I think it's called a Bargello. Maybe not. I thought I wrote down what the stitch was that I was using for this, but I didn't. But I will the next time I pick it up. But I'm doing the snowman will be in this stitch here. My next project is Bella Butterfly by Nora Corbett. And it is being stitched on a 28 count Neptune by Color and Cotton. I run out of space. Run out of space. My next project is Letter M by Letters from Nora. I am stitching this on a 32 count Cypress by Fiber on a Whim. And that is where I am. I've put her, I'm of course doing a skin conversion, and that is all that I have in for it. And yeah. No, that's not bad. Put you right there. This next project is by Silver Creek Samplers, and it is Wings of Change. And I love, if you are new to my channel, I love butterflies, and so this verse really spoke to me, and it's the reason why I love butterflies, actually. Yeah. And here is where I am on that. I am stitching this on a 32 count Drizzle by Color and Cotton. This next project is Starlight on Water by Carolyn Manning Designs. And I am stitching it on a 32 count limited edition Lugana by Color and Cotton. And I am using, we converted the DMC over to Color and Cotton threads. So that is what it looks like. For those of you that are new to my channel, I love Carolyn Manning Designs also. There's not many that I don't love. As you can tell, I'm a very eclectic stitcher. This next pattern is Christmas Etchings by Heart in Hand. And I started off with the bell. I'll be stitching each one of them individually. And this is a 36 count fabric that was sent to me by a friend. So it's from Stash, and that's where I am on the bell. This next chart is Imprints Love and Heart by Heart in Hand. And I am stitching it on it's probably a 28 count from my, well, maybe a 32 count from my stash. But I am using the called for fibers. Yeah, that's the way it goes. And then the love will be on the other side right here. So I'll have all of this still. I try to be very, when I first started using the Nerge, I wasn't very fabric conscious when I was putting it on. I've since become much more fabric conscious. Because the Nerge does not take as much margin as what a Q-snap or roller frame or frame would use. So when I first started using the Nerge, I was doing the whole 2 down and then put the Nerge on. So I had all this fabric, which was a waste to me. I was like, okay, I'm wasting fabric. So this next chart is, I'm using all the kit stuff. So it is called Candy Canes, and it is a Bothy Threads design kit. And this is what I switched over to for Ymir Almond M&M's race running. I have not heard about whether she's still running races or not. And if she's not, I'm still gonna have to stitch. I'm still gonna stitch this. But that is the shoe that I chose for her when she races. And again, this is all kit. So I believe that this is an 18 count. And here is where it is now. I I've got to put something on here so I'll know which way is up. But I believe that that is correct. Okay, I am going to pause for just a second again and get these things put away and get my next bin over. So just give me 1 second. Okay, this has been, I think, number 3. And so I only have one more after this. This is a start that I did with Vicky Stitching Button for Remember, Never Forget 9/11. And I got this off, and I don't know if they're still on Etsy or not. It was by the X Stitch Conservative. Sorry, my brain just like freaked out. Like, what is that word? So it's by the XSTCH Conservative. And this is probably one of my older whips too. I'm going to put it, and this is all I have done. This piece is very hard for me to work on. I've had it since 2020. And I need to get it done so that I can put it out. But it is Never Forget, 9/11, Never Forget. And it is being stitched on a 28 count blue Lugana. I must don't have this. I don't have this in my notions because it didn't pop up. So I need to leave this out so I can put it in notions. Because the oldest one that's in my notions is 2021. These are my travel-y pieces. And this one is the Zodiac Mill Hill, and it is the Cancer. And I'm stitching each one of these for my children. I've finished Pisces and Gemini, and Cancer is the last one for my youngest daughter. And then I will actually be starting the Capricorn for myself. This next project is by Rosewood Manor. It is the Autumn Quaker. And I am stitching this on a 28 count Autumn by Under the Sea Fabrics. And I'm using the Called For Valdani. And here is where that is now. That's a big empty space right there. Oh. I didn't put the chart back. I didn't zipped it all up and everything. Didn't put the chart back in the pouch. This next project is $3.24, and it is by Works by ABC. And I am stitching this on 25 count gray over 1 with the called for DMCs. And that is where I am now with it. This next project is by Needlework Press and Be Kind to One Another. I am stitching it on a 36 count embellishment. And I don't have the card for where embellishment came from. It was probably a rogue stitching. And here is where I am now on that. I probably... This next project is Besties by Amy Brucken Designs. And I am stitching this on a 16 count Country French Rain by Witchelt. And there's where I am on that. So this next project is the first one. Okay, never mind, because I have not. Oh, yes, I did. But I don't even know like which one I must have started. Okay, I know which one. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I'm stitching, this is the Advent Trilogy by Mill Hill. I started with this one right here. Yes. And here's where it is right now. Okay, give me 1 second. If you have stitched these before, I have not stitched the trilogy ones. Like the only Mill Hills I've ever stitched were the Zodiacs. But like, will all of them fit on this piece of perforated paper? I mean, they cut them all apart and everything, but I don't know, like, if all of them will fit on this one piece of perforated paper. And I started it in the middle. I don't know why. Well, because I drew the X and the whole shebang on the back. So, but there's where I am. And I would really like to work on these. They would be cute little ornaments if I ever decided to put up a tree again. Because right now I don't put up trees or anything like that. So I have, you know, it all the floss done and everything. There are actually 3 kits and I have 2. So I need to look and see which one I'm missing so I could get the 3rd one. Yeah, I'm missing set number 3. So I really like them. They're really super cute. These might be too small, but Michelia, these might be nice little Christmas things to give to your family members. But Anyway, they would be nice little Christmas things for me to give to my family members. If I ever would get it done. Okay, so the next project I have is the Snow Angel freebie by Twin Peak Primitives. And I'm stitching this on a 14 count Nordic Blue Ada. And I am using a sulky conversion. Going forward, some of the snowmen that I have already stitched are, you know, using DMC, but going forward, like, I'll either be using Floss or I'll be using sulky because the coverage is so great with the sulky and the Floss. So there's where I am with that. And I did make like some changes to it. So his if like it calls for red for his scarf or his tie, and I changed it to purple. And I do that. Like the next one that I'm gonna start, his little scarf will be purple, even though it shows it red in the chart. My next chart is Heart and Hand, Honey of a Tiny Town. And I'm stitching this on a 32 count Color and Cotton Milk and Tea. And I'm using the called for threads. I won this whole entire set with the exception of the fabric in a gift basket. There's where I am right now on it. And there are so many other tiny towns. Like, I need to really, like, go through and see which ones I have. Because I really do enjoy stitching on them. So, like, I need to get Blooming Tiny Town. I think I have another one. I don't know. Here's another one, though, for you. And I have the frills for it also. So I do not have the frills for the Honey of a Tiny Town, but I'm going to get it. I'm going to get them all. I saw, like, I'm going to get the frills for every one of them. Here is Frosty of a Tiny Town, and this is the frills for it. But this is the one that I started. And I am stitching this on a 32 count Wexford Fog. And here is where it is right now. So this is the first chalet, and then here's the second one with the snow on it. Now, I didn't get to use, like, because I didn't do the sulky conversion on the whole thing, I am stitching this white with the called for DMC or Blanc. I use Blanc more than I use, like, B5200. I like Blanc better. So I need to get, so I have the frill for that one. And I'm not saying that I'm going to stitch all the tiny towns, but I really do like them. So probably the majority of them I will stitch. Like I have our tiny town, the one that she designed for keepsakes. I have several of them. So I just need to get them started. I see shiny new things all the time. I have all of these. I have 7 boxes of charts right there. So they're, you know, 7 boxes right there of things that I've purchased over the years that I really, like, I need to go through all those boxes and see, like, what do I really want to start now, because I have so much. And my tastes have changed since I started stitching. So The next chart I have is Spring Quaker by Rosewood Manor. And I am stitching this on a 28 count Garden Party by Bestitch Me. And here is where it is now. And I am using the called for Valdani with these charts, with the exception of the winter one, and I'll be showing you that one pretty soon. It's actually in the last basket that I have. Okay, so this next chart is by Lucy Beam, and it is Immortal. And I am stitching this on a 40 count Verdal Frost. And can I just tell you that I love the 40 count Verdal. That's where I'm at now with it. I did do a color conversion. So my flowers, instead of being blue, are purple. And I changed, since I've made the flowers up here purple, I changed the words to the blue. But again, I used, it's called Black, I think it's Blackberry, yeah, it's called Black Raspberry Jam, and it's by the Gentle Arts. And that was a StitchCon start this year. My next chart is from a magazine. It is from Just Cross Stitch magazine, and it is called Current Mood. And I am stitching this on a 28 count Lugana Periwinkle. And I made each one of the rain down, coming down, I stitched it in a different shade of purple. And that is where I am now. My next chart is Christmas Claus by Salty Stitcher Designs. And I am using the called for Sulky. I am stitching this on a Fortnite Fabrics. It's called Extravagant, and it is a 32 count. One of my cards got left out of the bag when I put everything back in the bag. So I'm like, okay. Luckily enough, I know which one it is because I'm using it for Bringo. So I've been pulling stuff out that I need to, you know, put the Bringo and all the things. This next chart is Capricorn by Nora Corbett. And I am stitching this on a Fiber on a Whim. It must be a 28 count because it has beads on it, so I'm sure I'm stitching on a 28 count. So there is where I am now with that. This next chart is January Snows by Bent Creek. And again, this chart, I will end up having to use the DMC because I didn't start, when I started this process, I didn't use the, I've been looking everywhere for this right here. I might actually need to do something different with this because I don't know that the white is going to show. So I started using a toile on that, but you can see like his hat is purple. But I might have to do something different with this because I don't know, like the fabric is tannish. I might have should have did the January Snows in the purple also so that it matches, but I didn't. So anyway, there it is. And I'm going to pull this out. This is being stitched on a Fortnite Fabric 16 count hue. And it's funny because I thought I started that for my birthday one year, but it shows that I started it like in August. August of 2022. This next project is Self Love, aka Damn I'm Beautiful. And I am stitching this on a 46 count Roxy Floss Co. Cloud Break. And there's where it is now. And if I'm not mistaken, oh, that's not good. One of the stitches got pulled. Yeah, that is so this is the end right here. Like there's a crown up above that. And then, so that'll be is as wide as it is on this 46 count. And I'm using a Silks for You for that. Okay. My next chart is Christmas Sentiments by Stony Creek. And here is where it is now. So I still need to finish that middle poinsettia. There are snowflakes all around. So there are snowflakes all over still, and I have another tree, Christmas tree. This will also be over here. And then I have the beading. I have put this on my year of whips this year, or for 2026. It's going to be a matter really of keeping it in front of me, because there are beads in all of border down here in both the trees and the poinsettia plant in the middle. There is also back stitching, but it is not very much. It is just for the birds. So I love this piece. I don't know if you all remember Christine Stitch All the Things, Christine Slaughter. It is because of her that I even started this project, and it's been, I've been working on it for a long, like I don't even have a start date on here. I don't know when I started this, but I guess I could go back through my calendars and look and see, but I love this project, but it's time for it to be finished. The next project I have is another ink circles, and it is turtles all the way down. And it is on the called for 27 count banding celery, and I'm using the called for DMCs. And there's where I am on that so far. So once I put in the turtle body, the fourth turtle will be done. This next project is I Am Enough by Emily Call Stitching. And I am stitching this on a 36 counts. Artemis by Atomic Ranch Fabrics. And here's where it is on that. And so I have another flower right here to go, and it will be finished. I am stitching that also with Roxy Floss Silver Dollar. I love those. I love two of my, well, purple of course is my favorite color, and silver is my next favorite. This project is a Blackwork Pumpkin, and it was out of the Just Cross Stitch October 22 magazine. I am stitching this on a 28 count Color and Cotton special edition. And I don't know which way is up. I'm going to go with this way. That needs a lot of work put into it for me to be done started it back in 2022. But again, oh, and it's by Kim Beamish. But again, it was one of the projects that I didn't take with me. And then, of course, when I got back here, it just wasn't in the, I just didn't have it in the front. Okay. 2 more out of this bin, and then I can go to the whips that I had, and we'll be done. So this next project is Summer Quaker by Rosewood Manor. Summer Quaker by Rosewood Manor. And I am stitching this on a 28 count Palomino by Atomic Ranch, and I'm using the called for Valdani. And here is where I am with that. And last out of this bin is Flea Market Flowers by Lori Holt. I did a thread conversion on this, and I am stitching this on a 25 count over one potato. So it's 25 count Lugana on potato, 25 count potato Lugana. Okay, there we go. With a thread conversion that I have come up with. So the bulk of the threads are DMC, but they are not what Lori Holt called for. And there's where I am on that. Okay, so I'm going to pause one more time, put these in a bin, and then I will grab what I have out as my current, what I worked on this past month, and we might be finished soonish. Okay, the next project is Winter Quakers by Rosewood Manor. And I am stitching this on a 14 count gray Aida. And we did a thread conversion for it. So I am not using the Valdanis. Oh, 2. Okay. There we go. And here is where it is. I have it in a pillowcase to protect it. So here is where it is now. So I actually, and I'll show this in my video, in my next floss tube, but I actually have put some stitches in it, but here's where it is right now for the Wip Parade. And again, this is a project that has not been worked on probably in a couple of years. I do have it on my year of whips as a stretch goal. And when I say stretch, I mean it's going to be really stretching. Because I have a lot still to do. I am currently stitching this motif right here. Pardon me. So I still have all of this to still stitch. So it's going to be a real stretch goal. But, you know, if I put it on there, I'll get some stitches done, and then we'll see where we can go from, you know, then I'm maybe 2027, you know, just keep adding it on. That's not a whip. My next whip is, and you'll see all of these again in my floss tube, because this is what I'm currently working on, or what I've currently worked on for the past week. Was Woman of Honor by Rebel Stitcher Designs. And here's where it is now. Actually, I don't think you'll see this one. I think I've already shown it. So here's where it is now. I am stitching this on a 40 count Country Mocha. And I'm using the called for flosses. I had to get my thoughts together. Like, okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? Are you a whip? I don't think you are. Yeah, I think you are. Okay. I'm pretty sure you are. Okay. So, a sampler for Sealy. I just started this on December the 18th. And here is where I am. This is being stitched on a 40 count Dusk by Live and Die LA. This is a Carolyn Manning Designs Thistles. And I'm stitching this on a 20 count. Where did my board disappear to? Put it up underneath some stuff. And there's where it is now. Isn't that just beautiful? All those bright, pretty colors. I will have to insert, if I remember, I will have to insert a picture of this next project. It is called Purple Poppies. It is also by Carolyn Manning Designs. I'm stitching this on an 18 count Heather by Fiber on a Whim. I need to print off the cover pages for those. Of course, that one, like, well, I need to print off the cover page. Okay, let me turn this around so I can do this way. Okay, so these ones you just saw. But I'm just going to show you again. This one is the Christmas Tiny Town. Did you see this? You might have not have saw this. If you didn't see it, you will see it again in my... No, you didn't see this because it's a new start. It was a new start for Christmas Day. But here it is. So I'll have to... I'm going to share it again in my regular video. But I started this on Christmas Day. It is being stitched on a 32 count Macchiato by Bestitch Me. And I also have the frill for it. I need to put you in a different bag, I think, though. Either that or I need to put all of them in these size bags right here. Okay, and because it's a whip, I'm still going to show it. You'll just end up seeing all of this again. Here is my Steelers helmet. It will be going into the new year because they don't play, like they played this past Sunday. They play again on the January the 4th. So, and if they, I don't know what's going to happen with their little playoffs since they lost to the daggone Browns. but here's where it is. I'm not very pleased about their performance on Sunday at all. And then Amethyst, which is also a Carolyn Manning Designs. And I am stitching this one, the smaller one, not the big one, but the smaller one. And here is where it is. I'm stitching this on an 18 count Baron by Bestitch Me. The next one I'm going to share with you is Elegant Lace by Works by ABC. This is my year-long sal. And here is where it is right now. It is being stitched on a 40 count. A 40 count Verdal, Huckleberry by Bestitch Me. The Snowman 2023 by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I just started this December the 20th, so I'm not for sure if you have seen this or not, but I am doing a sulky conversion on this. This is one of the ones where I'm doing the sulky conversion. You have seen this. You've seen this. And in the picture, or in the model, his scarf is red, but for mine, it will be purple. And so will the band around his hat. It'll be purple also. And then two more. So this is Nativity Tiny Town by Heart and Hand. You have not seen this. It'll show up in my next video, but it's a whip, so I need to show it in my Wip Parade. And I am stitching this on a 32 count Flint Stone by Color and Cotton. And here is where it is. Now, this was my Christmas Day start. The Christmas Tiny Town was my Christmas Eve start. This was my Christmas Day start. And I do have both the frills for Nativity Tiny Town. I have to measure that bag. And I believe this is the last one. if I find any more whips, I'll just be like, okay, this was a whip that didn't make it to the Wip Parade. But it is Mirabilia Christmas Elf Fairy. And this is being stitched on a 32 count. It went right out of my head. 32 count is Seraphim. Sand Dunes by Seraphim. And there she is. So I know this was extremely long, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. I actually enjoy looking at all of my projects. You know, it helps me to decide whether I want to keep stitching on them. I do believe there are a couple. I know I UFO'd a couple of projects already. Like, there was no sense in me putting them in the video, so because I already had UFO'd them. Oh, I need a haircut. But I really hope that you've enjoyed my Wip Parade. This is a lot to do at one time. Maybe in the coming year, I will figure out a different way and maybe show half of them. If I get my whips organized better, I can do them by alphabetical order and maybe, you know, do part of them in July and some of them in September or something. I don't know. Or if you like seeing them all at once, you know, you can let me know that too. I just know that this is a lot, and it's probably 2 hours, over 2 hours. So I thank you and appreciate you so very much for sticking around. If you viewed the whole video, I really do appreciate it. Again, I will be putting out a regular floss tube soon and a 2025 wrap up along with the 2026 plans video. So I hope that you all have a very happy and safe New Year's if you celebrate. I know we are coming up on New Year's. Please be safe out there. Guns and bullets do not have eyes. Please, please be responsible if you are shooting off fireworks and guns and doing the whole thing. And I will talk to you again really soon. Bye, everybody.